And it should be recording. Okay, again, I'm Lewis. You're back with Anthem Investment Group. I got my buddy Chance over there behind the camera. Today we're going to be talking about ICO scams. Okay, there have been a lot of people lately been getting hit in the pocket with those ICO scams. And in case you don't understand it, I'm going to break it down for you, along with what is a pump and dump, because that's the most common form of ripping you off. Then I'm going to tell you a couple ways you can spot a pump and dump scam. And ultimately, there's going to be a solution to this issue, to the whole problem. For you personally, overall, there aren't any regulators, so it's not even illegal, okay? An ICO is an initial coin offering. For those of you who are familiar with stocks, an IPO is an initial public offering. Okay, now an ICO is an unregulated way for them to raise money. Remember, there aren't any regulators, any SEC or any oversight in this market right now. And remember, that's why China has banned these cryptocurrency exchanges. Anyway, so the guy with the coin, or fellas with the coin, they need to raise money and give that coin value. So they do what's called a pump and dump. All right? Meaning, if you're part of a mailing list or any form of messaging, updates where you get market updates and they tell you about the next big explosive thing, okay? And they tell you to get ready because they're gonna have some news, and then you got just a matter of seconds to buy in. All right? And what that does is when they have their, and you know what, if you want to see evidence of this, you'll go to Telegram, which is a Russian messaging app, and it's heavily encrypted. And look at some of the ICO communities there. They even carry the name dump or pump in them. Okay, so this is blatant and out there. And so you have a coin and it starts at $0 for that coin. All right, so let's say that's the coin, and it's worth 0 until you start to create a fervor. Remember, in our last video we talked about value. Okay, anyway, one of the ways to give this coin some value before it even comes to market is to talk it up, talk about how good the things will be when they bring it to market. You okay back there, Chance? All right, great. How good things will be once they bring it to market, the technology or platform is built on, the wonderful tech guys behind its creation, or whatever. Any number of these things that they put an exclamation mark behind to get you pumped up is the pump part of the pump and dump. So, because if you go to a community on Telegram or something and someone has 15 to 30,000 followers, you get 15 to 30,000 people interested in this coin, okay, its value starts to go up. It's an artificial inflation of the currency. It's market manipulation, okay? The very basis of it, all right? And it's your fault if you buy in. You're the one that's inflating the market. This guy, of course, he's going to say what it's going to be worth if it's going to pay.
Damn, that's messed up.
You all right, baby? This is a silent roll today, Chance, if you don't mind. All right, so yes, but it is messed up, and it's so easy. It's text. It's kindergarten. All right, and it's unique to this market because how many opportunities do you have for people to give you something artificial that you know to be artificial, and then help you create a fervor, thereby creating some value. Anyway, so the value of the currency goes up. And there are many currencies you can use in this example. So the value of the currency goes up. Now all of a sudden one of those coins is worth $1. That is the pump part of it, and now here comes the dump. The dump is after you see 15,000, 30,000, or even more if the hype is big enough. But you can do this with just a few people doing newsletters and mailouts, okay? Because the idea is to create a fervor, and when you get them in a room together or a community, an online community, everyone's going to feed off each other's enthusiasm, even when it's bloated. All right? So you have the currency at $1. Now, you remember those people who had the stock before you did, when it had no value? When it was like that? All right? And then those 15 to 30,000 or more, or 7,000, or whatever the number needs to be to inflate the cost of that value, bringing that thing up to $1. Well, and these are just numbers I'm throwing out there, okay? There are plenty of real life examples that you can find online if you want to do more research into pump and dumps, all right? And if I'm going to be completely honest, there are ways to capitalize off pump and dumps if you're into that. You just don't want to be on the back end, because the problem is that first round of people who had the stock before they made these announcements and before they hired the promotion company or the promoter, because in the stock market it's much the same. They have stock promoters, and their job is to pump the stock up. You buy into the stock. I mean, sometimes it's legitimate. I don't want to say that stock promoters are illegitimate. I just mean that sometimes if I want to pump you up, I'm going to probably hire a promoter, and I'm going to give him a share of the stock that's going to increase his incentive to pump you up. All right, so that at $1 we can start to bail out. And now, of course, the value's going to go back down. Okay, because I'm sure at this fraction of a penny, we probably had thousands, if not millions, of shares or what have you in this, of coins in this currency. And when you bought it, they sold it, so that it went right back down. And maybe it didn't hit rock bottom. And in some cases, it stays inflated and nobody buys in really. So the guys are just stuck with an inflated currency. All right, that could be that's the downside of this pump and dump scam if you're a pumper and dumper. All right. Now, how do we spot these pump and dump scams before they happen? Firstly, it's impossible to tell who's going to be legitimate and who's going to be illegitimate unless you do a little bit of research, okay? Due diligence. As with any form of investing, it's going to be your most valuable tool. It's going to be your own determination to get to the bottom. You want to find out who these people are, where they're from, where's the hardware located. You want to know as much as you can. All right. A lot of these scams are just thrown up overnight. They cash out quick, and then they're gone. So they don't have a history. They don't have old data. They don't have old backlinks online through Google. They don't have old reviews. Okay, you want to look for age, or maybe that some of the names, some of the developers or people behind the project have been involved with other projects. Look for new usernames. That's definitely out. Now, if I know you're a new user or new to the community, and you tell me you've been in this game for 10 years, where have you been? Because there's nothing about you. And that's shady. Don't forget, the internet is the internet. All right? And don't let greed or anything like that motivate you to do something you wouldn't ordinarily do in person. All right? So we're looking for new users and new sources of information. Those are our red flags right there. That's after you've done the math. If the math doesn't add up, then you'll probably find that these two are true. Okay? So to break it all down to you, the solution there's going to be step one is due diligence about any investment. The first rule is going to be research. Okay. The second is if you set investment limits for yourself, set rules for yourself on what you will and won't do in this game, this cryptocurrency game. Increase your knowledge, all right? Not only watch the videos we're providing, you can also become an apprentice at Anthem IG for Anthem Mining Company, and then if you decide to profit, which I will tell you again, the most reliable way to get the coins is to mine them. All right, it's not to invest your money in some Chinese company with European faces. No, it's to mine them. Find a way to mine your own coins, not necessarily through hardware. There are many options that we'll cover in a later video. All right. Any questions you have, send them to Lewis@anthemig.com or leave them in the comment section. I don't know that I'll be able to get back to them right away. I'll get back to them as soon as possible. And look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a good day.